Okay, hi guys! What are you doing? It's Katie Joy! I am so happy to have you guys here tonight. So, we are going to talk about Miley and Liam because last night we did a stream and I was just like, holy crap. And I think I almost lost my brains a little bit because I said I had a crush on Miley, and then I spent some time on her Instagram, and I was like, no, I don't. I was totally lying. I do not have a crush on Miley. In fact, I'm actually super glad that Miley and Liam are getting divorced, okay? So, if you saw my stream last night, you will know that I talked about Miley and Liam splitting up because Miley was in Italy right now, right? On a trip with Brody Jenner's ex, Caitlyn Carter, okay? So they are living it up right now and they are being super smoochy and lovey-dovey. Fine, cool. They're having a hot girl summer, okay? So, I was doing some digging because you guys were wondering, you said something about her, yes, Caitlyn, well, okay, so Caitlyn and Brody just split up. Caitlyn and Brody actually got married last year out of the country. However, there was not an official marriage done here. So they never actually officially got married. So they're not technically getting a divorce, let's just say. They went through like a union type marriage in, I don't even know, some other country, and it never got finalized here. So they split up, and they announced their split up like earlier this week, right? And then the photos drop on yesterday of Miley and Caitlyn like making out. And so Caitlyn Carter, different Caitlyn, not Caitlyn Jenner. So then all of a sudden all of those photos drop of her and Miley making out, and then a spokesperson connected to Miley and Liam says that they are splitting up or on a break or something. Okay, so then during the stream, I was like, oh, they're both just so hot, and they're just so young, and maybe they are just, I don't know, too young to be doing this, or maybe Miley's too wild for this. I don't know. But anyways, here we go. According to sources connected to the couple, here's what's happening. So Miley, shocker, asked Liam to be in an open relationship, to which Liam said no. Liam wanted to have children, to which Miley said no. And in an interview with Elle magazine earlier this summer, we were talking about they were talking about marriage, and Miley said that she hated the word wife, and she hated the idea of being a wife, and she was never going to be like in an apron, okay? And then it was very clear that there was something kind of uncomfortable to it, right? And so then she was saying that no one would really understand their marriage. And yes, we're going to get to Brody's post on Instagram in 1 second. So everything sort of happened, like they hadn't been photographed since June, and she's been on tour. And so everything's been kind of going all over the place, right? So Jesse, the enforcer, is in the house. We are infested right now, so have fun. Okay, so then what happens is, on Instagram today, Brody Jenner makes a comment, and he says, don't let yesterday take up too much of today. To which Brandon Thomas Lee says, let's round the scandal out and post a pic of us making out, To which Brody responded, "Watch out, pics of Liam and I holding hands on the beach coming soon." And then Miley responded, "Go take a nap in your truck and cool off. Hashtag hot girl summer." So, after that exchange happened, Miley posted on her own Instagram, and she was like, "Life's a climb, but the view is great." And it says, "New day, new adventure." And then she said this: "Don't fight evolution because you will never win. Like the mountain I'm standing on top of, which I was once under the water connected with Africa, change is inevitable. The Dolomites were not created overnight. It was over millions of years that this magnificent beauty was formed. My dad always told me, nature never hurries, but it's always on time. It fills my heart with peace and hope knowing that this is true. I was taught to respect the planet and its process, and I'm committed to doing the same with my own." So, I'm trying to figure out, obviously she says change is inevitable, right? Is she comparing herself to a million year mountains? Is she being that grandiose here? I don't know. Anyways, she says nature's always on time. She shouldn't be fighting with nature. And so apparently we are just going to let her shift and flow and be, I don't know what, sexually fluid. I don't know, whatever. So, yeah, so another thing is a lot of times when she posts stuff, I get the sense that she's almost being like a little bit fake deep, you know, like a little bit like all over the place. She goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And she's like this way one minute and this way the next. And so it got me thinking, because a lot of you in comments last night were like, what is going on with Miley? She gives me like she is almost borderline personality, or maybe she has bipolar disorder or something. But I was trying to figure out, she's actually never publicly said anything, for example, about any of this. So what I did was I was like Googling, trying to figure out like if there's any sort of diagnosis that goes along with any of this. Well, it comes out that a couple psychologists have done sort of analyzed her behavior and have discussed her maybe over the top personality a little bit, maybe her hypersexualized sexuality. So the hyperized sexuality is actually a trait that can happen with certain personality disorders. And two different psychologists online were estimating that maybe it was histrionics personality disorder. Yeah, she does have that stuff with like abused child star too. So they were saying that some stars, there's some like really famous stars that seem to have obsessions with attention, needs for attention, and over-sexualized, sort of hyper-sexualized behavior. And so they two separate psychologists that were evaluating personalities said that she displays personality traits of someone that has histrionic personality disorder, which is symptoms don't typically cause problems at work or school or social situations unless they are severe. Personality disorders show a pervasive and long-term pattern of behaviors that depart from social norms, which can affect cognition, interpersonal relationships, and impulse control. So histrionic personality disorder symptoms show up as consistent, long-standing behavioral pattern of attention-seeking and excessive displays of emotion. Clear signs of it appear in late adolescence or early adulthood. And then they have a famous people that they believe that have it, and they say Kanye West and Miley Cyrus. Um, and then it says they behave or dress in overly seductive ways. They're easily influenced by others. They're overly concerned with their physical appearance. They're excessively emotional and dramatic. They're overly sensitive to criticism. They blame personal failures on others. They constant need for approval and reassurance. They have low tolerance or delayed gratification. They attention seek and are self-centered. They're overstimulated by intimacy and relationships, and they have shifting emotions, which a lot of you had said that she seems to go back and forth and sort of all over the place with what she's doing. And it made sense when I was reading this, because I'm like, obviously I'm not a psychologist, first off, right? But it makes sense, right? Because remember with the Robin Thicke stuff, with the blurred line stuff after at the VMAs, and she like went from being sort of like this, like, I don't know, regular girl to being like super like sexualized, and then she was like running around on her concerts with like strap-ons on and just being way over the top. And people were like, oh, well, she's just trying to put Hannah Montana in the grave, right? And then suddenly she breaks up with Liam, and then they get back together, and suddenly she becomes subdued again. Almost as though the relationship that she has with Liam was making her subdued. Anyways, now she's shifting back again. Who knows? She's said online, and she's been very open with the fact that she does have depression and anxiety. I don't know. I'm obviously not a psychologist, but that could explain it. I think a lot of celebrities in general are very attention-seeking in nature, and I just think that maybe these are just two dramatically different people. I think Miley maybe wanted to want Liam and the stability that he could provide, but I don't think that Miley really can be the stable person that Liam wants her to be. Clearly she's got a lot more going on with what she wants to do and where she wants to go. And I was saying last night about how, you know, I thought I had this crush on her. I really don't. I absolutely have zero crush on Miley. I'm actually more like further convinced that she's still incredibly annoying. I find her Instagram accounts still very attention seeking. And I don't know. I guess Liam is absolutely devastated by this breakup. So sometimes people are like shocked by celebrity breakups, but I'm actually not very. Yes, Lady Gaga is my one true, absolutely my number one girl crush. Yeah, she does make really weird decisions, Alexa. I would agree. I know. I'm sad for Liam too. Is anyone else like on the Liam is hot train? He and his brother Chris are so delicious. They're like, they remind me of like the rugged outdoorsmen that wear like Merrell's, or I don't know, like those shoes that are like super like trek-like, and they go to REI and they go hiking all the time. I feel like he could pitch a tent, make a fire with his own two hands. I am somewhat of a gay man, I guess. I don't know. They are so deliciously tasty, aren't they? Chris Helmsworth and, I don't know, they're both so... I'm not straight. I have never said I'm straight. You guys are silly. You don't watch my channel. Clearly you don't watch my channel if you know that, if you think I'm straight. You'd prefer Chris? I guess I'd have to look at them side by side, but I've always thought Liam was so much cuter. I don't know. Miley is... I never really understood the appeal. I always felt like Liam should be with someone more demure. Miley seems like the type of person that would need to date another rock star, you know, like super wild, super crazy. I don't know. You know who Chris Helmsworth reminds me of? Helmsworth reminds me of Chris Pratt, right? Yeah, Chris Pratt from like Parks and Recreation. Now he does Jurassic World and all of like those Marvel mystery, those Marvel comics, like superhero shows. Um, yeah, and oh god, I can't get okay. Is now does anyone else feel me on this? No, I'm not into Chris Pratt, but Chris Pratt for me was cuter when he was chubbier on Parks and Rec than he is now. I don't know. A thicker Chris Pratt to me was so much cuter because he was like goofy and funnier. And now I'm like, the skinny built Chris Pratt is so not cute to me. I want him to be like Andy from Parks and Rec. I want him to be ridiculous and goofy and stupid. He was, oh my God. Thank you. I loved the chubby Chris better. Thank you guys. Oh my God. Yes, he was so much cuter when he was Andy. I am so glad you guys are with me on this. But there was something about the thicker Andy. I don't know. He has like really nice cheeks. And I don't know. I've dated super skinny guys, but my husband has a little meat on him and I love that. My husband has like nice big cheeks and it's just like, I love having a little extra, something extra to like grab onto. And I feel like when a guy gets super built, then it makes me feel super like I need to be super built. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. We are over the Miley Cyrus part. Anyways, so Miley Cyrus, I was just saying that Chris Pratt looks like Chris Helmsworth in a way, but I liked Chris Pratt when he was fatter, okay? Anyways. You know, maybe Miley did fall out of love. My thought, you guys, is that Miley thought she wanted something that she could get. Like, you know how when you're in your 20s, and if you are in your 20s, I apologize. But when I was in my 20s, I found myself like kind of conforming to whatever the people I was with were doing. So if they were really into being a hippie, I was a hippie. If they were into vegetarianism, I was a vegetarian. I mean, I felt like most of my 20s, I was like soul searching. And I feel like a lot of people that are in their 20s, especially people that have maybe a little bit more of a rebel spirit or a little bit more free spirit. And I've always been a very free spirited person. So when I was saying yesterday that I think that 26 is too young to get married, I'm talking about Miley Cyrus. Obviously, some people don't need to like explore and be like free, but I can tell that she's like this free little love child, right? And that's how I was. And I knew at 26 I was way too young to get tied down. So I was like, he must be chunkier than me. Yeah, I felt like my life was a mess in my 20s, honey. Wait till your 30s, it'll get better. I love that. Okay, I just turned 40 this year. And I like dad bods, yes. And my favorite decades so far were my 30s, but I will say turning 40 was probably one of the biggest I don't give a fuck moments where I was finally comfortable enough in my skin and who I was. I feel like I felt a lot of my 30s being, or 20s being very insecure, 30s trying to figure out what I wanted to be. And by the time I turned 40, I was finally in a place where I was like completely mentally healthy, taking care of myself, well into motherhood, well into my marriage, where I was finally like, you know what? If people don't like me, they don't like me. I'm not gonna like apologize for being who I am. And I feel like everyone kind of has to like get to that point. But I think the beauty with women and aging is that the older you get, the more confident you become. And I sometimes think there's Some women get there a lot sooner and they're a lot more comfortable, a lot faster. I felt like I took a lot longer to grow up and to mature. And so maybe she just needs more time. And so when people ask me, "Are you straight?" No, I'm not straight. I've never been straight, but I don't know what I am. I've never really defined myself. I'm not bisex. I never say bisexual. I always just say I'm sexually fluid. I just am the kind of person that's attracted to people, and I don't know. I've been with girls. I've been with women and men, and but I will tell you one thing. I prefer relationships with men. I was never able to date women. It never worked for me. I prefer to be in the company of a relationship with men, which is why my husband is perfect for me. Yeah, people do change. I think everyone has like their different preferences, right? Like I still think women are beautiful, which is why I can say, oh, sometimes I think Miley's pretty, but I can also say that Lady Gaga is my number one freaking celebrity crush. I love her. She's so gorgeous. I'm obsessed with her. I love that, Megan. See? I love that. Everyone just finds themselves at different times, and some people grow up faster, and I just never really grew up that fast, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I've never just really been. Yeah, and it might not be even exactly. That's a really good point, Tiny Dancer. It might not just be about maturity. Maybe she just doesn't want to settle down. I didn't want to settle down. I This is kind of my thought process with Miley, and I could be totally wrong, you guys. But when I was like in my 20s, I was really like in this like phase where I was very I was going to be super successful. I was going to make a lot of money. I was going to buy my own house. I was going to be the independent woman. And I wasn't going to get tied down, and I didn't want a man, and I didn't want a relationship. I just wanted to be me. And then I turned 30, and literally all of that changed overnight. And then I was like, damn it, I want to be married. I want to be married now. So sometimes you just like, when you're ready, and other times you don't. And then it was funny, as soon as I was ready, I met my husband. So, and he was almost 40 when we got married. So, and he was the same way. Like, he didn't want to settle down earlier either. Everyone kind of just goes at their own pace. I think my first crush of a woman was in junior high. But I don't think I ever really understood about, like, it took me a long time to really, like, admit it out loud that I liked women and men. But then it also took me a really long time to, like, be very vocal about that. Probably just, like, in the last 5 years. I've never really formally, like, come out. I don't think you have to formally come out, right? I always just think, like, I like who I like. Yeah, so I'll tell you a story. And then, like, P.S., the stream about Miley is totally done. But I'll tell you a funny story about me. When I was in college, no, shortly after I was out of college, I was dating this guy who was, like, all over the place. After he and I broke up, I was at this party, and I met this girl, and she was so pretty. And she was so cool, and she was, like, I don't even know. I thought she was hot. I thought she was like petite, and she was like so cute, and we start making out, and she gives me this bracelet, and she wants my phone number, and she wants to date me, and it's like literally I met her and she wanted to like U-Haul into my life. And it was like at that moment where I was like, I don't want to date girls. I just want to make out with them. So, that's confusing to people, because then they're just like, well, then you're just the girl that's a two-beer lesbian. And that's like, no, I prefer relationships with men, but I'm open sexually to both. It's different, right? She did. She wanted to U-Haul it into my life. And I was like, girl, no. No. I think what it is I'm not the kind of girl that likes to talk about my feelings. I'm not an emotional person. I don't like to like break down how our relationship is going. Like sometimes when my husband wants to talk about our relationship, I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about it. Don't talk to me. Sometimes he's very much more female about that stuff than I am. I'm very male sometimes. And it's funny, someone in the chat said you're sometimes a gay man. And a lot of times I do think that I'm a little bit of a gay man because I am not that emotional. And sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm just like a gay man in a woman's body. But sometimes I like to make out with girls. But I haven't in years because I've been married for a decade. And I would never cheat on my husband. But my husband knows that I'm attracted to girls and he doesn't care. And I think as long as you are honest in your marriage and your life and your like, that's all that matters. I'm never going to cheat on him. He's my life partner. I love my husband more than anything in the world. He's the best dad. He's the best husband. He's the best partner. He's the best person. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to, right? The person. Female to female is a tough dynamic. It's very intense, and it's not one I'd like to have. Men are easier for me to be with. I'm better friends with men too. I'm abrasive. I can be kind of a bitch. I can spout my mouth. It's who I am. If people come to this channel and don't think that I spout my mouth and I don't like stick up for myself and tell people off, they're crazy. Like that's literally who I am. What's my Briggs-Meyer personality type? I am an INFP. What is that? Introvert? What's the N? INFP. All I know is it's not very common. I'm an introvert. Are you? INFPs are not common. What is an INFP? Let's look. I just remember that that's what I had to, because we had to do these when I was in my corporate job. So an INFP is a mediator personality, an idealist, always looking for the hint of good in even the worst of people, searching for ways to make things better. While they can be perceived as calm, reserved, or even shy, they have an inner flame and passion and can truly shine. Yeah, that's me. 100%. Yes. Okay. Yep. You're right. I'm very led by my perceptions. I'm very led by my gut. You can ask my moderator, Jessie Bear. Like if I have a gut feeling about something, I'm rarely wrong. So if I feel off about something, I will be I just know that's it and you can't shift it. I'm extremely empathetic and I can read people and I can understand them and I can I would be way too shy for stand-up. I wanted to do stand-up for a long, long time and I was so shy. But YouTube, I don't have to worry about being in a crowd because I'm just at my computer. I don't believe in astrology. I don't, but I'm a Scorpio. Yeah, Jessie always trusts my gut. And I hate it when you know what's worst about when you're an INFP and you have a really strong gut is when you have a gut feeling about someone that's your friend. And if you feel like your friend might have done something to you or you feel like someone in your life that you care about is not the right person, you literally cannot ignore that feeling. Is it that, does she have untreated bipolar? I wondered about that. I do have the zodiac. I'm not really into, you guys, because I don't believe in like, but there's definitely aspects of Scorpio that I very much am. I'm very loyal. I'm very, I have a quick tongue. I am sharp with my tongue. I can kill people with my honesty. I can say shit that hurts. I can sting you with my stinger. But I'm not jealous at all. It's weird. I'm not jealous at all. Although, no, that's not true. I always tell my husband I'll pee on him. Like, you know how dogs mark their territory? Like, I'm going to mark my territory. You're mine. So, yeah. So I had my entire astrology. I was into astrology for a long, long time before I got out of the woo. And I was like, so I have a Scorpio, a moon, a Pisces sun. No, a Scorpio sun, a Pisces moon, and I have a Libra rising. And apparently the Libra rising is extremely strong in me. And I am a very balanced person and very pragmatic and logical. So I guess that's why I am who I am. And I have a lot of moons in Sagittarius. So according to the person that read my chart, I have a lot of fire and water, and I'm constantly putting myself out. Ugh. My tongue can definitely get the better of me, but I always think my tongue is more related to my ADHD. And if I get heated, I will go off and I will just like unleash. I don't even care. And if I am passionate about something, I will stand up for something no matter what. And Mercury retrograde is a crock of shit. But you know who's obsessed with Mercury retrograde? Tati Westbrook. My husband and I are perfect astrological matches. I don't know anything about Sagittariuses. My brother's a Sag. He's super bossy. Is that a Sagittarius trait? I always want to believe in astrology, but unfortunately I just don't. You know, we know so much more about the world now and how the stars really don't influence like everything. So I know Tanya is so woo, so woo. Such a woo crew. Such a woo crew. You guys, if you are still in this, can you give me some thumbs up? The trolls have given me 38 thumbs down. I need some more thumbs up. Oh my god. I'm a water sign. I'm not emotional. I'm like kind of not emotional at all. Keep giving me the thumbs up, guys. People are still giving me thumbs down. Oh my god. You guys. You know what? I always feel like if you get to a point where people are hate watching you, does that mean you're doing something right? Do I have hate watchers now? Because I had the audacity to stick up for, like, you know, people like my son. Is that how it works? Do I have hate watchers? You know what I think is funny? Yeah. You know what I think is super funny is like when I used to write a lot of stuff about pseudoscience and like alternative health medicine and stuff, like I used to cover these really, really, really unstable people. And I would write these articles, and then like those articles about the people would get shared in their groups, and then I would get a spike in views, and then I would get all these nasty comments, and I was like, "Oh, you're still reading my columns, so I don't care." I literally don't care. You're still reading it, even if you hated it. I try not to have stands. Do I have stands? I don't think people stand me. I hope people don't stand me. Yeah. Hate watching. I like hate watching, right? I know. People got really mad at me on Friday night because I was swearing. And I was like, seriously? Swearing? It was, first off, it was a 9 o'clock stream. I knew I wasn't going to upload the stream afterwards. So I was like, all right, I'm going to swear because I can. You just stumbled on me, Vixen. I have never seen you here before, so welcome. I don't know. I think stan is like when you have like a really enthusiastic fan and they like stan you, and no matter what you do, they will support you, even if it's like not awesome. Jessie is the top bitch. And Jessie calls me out all the time. So even you guys don't think that like even if we block like nasty comments, we don't like block. I actually appreciate feedback, but like when you're trolling, that's totally different. When you're like literally just showing up to like say I suck, then it's like of course those comments are going to get deleted. Stan is a super. Oh, you guys, did I tell you? Jeffree Star blocked me. Yes, I can take constructive feedback. I've made so many changes to this channel based on feedback I've received from people, and I appreciate constructive feedback. I don't appreciate feedback that's not constructive. Jeffree Star blocked me on Twitter. I've literally never tweeted Jeffree Star. Not a single time. I've never interacted with Jeffree Star in my life. And he has me blocked. I know the doggies aren't sleeping. You guys, somebody gave me feedback about this couch, and they actually were right. We're going to get rid of this couch. So tomorrow we're starting construction in my house. Lauren, you might have just gotten blocked in the blockchain. But tomorrow we're starting construction on the house, and we're going to get rid of this couch. And I'm going to get like a cuter little love seat and some little end tables and make it so you have a cute little cozy thing behind me where we feel like we're in an office and we're hanging out as friends. I know. That chair, to be honest though, that couch, I bought it like in 2004 or 4. So it's 15 years old. It's been through multiple dogs that have had accidents on it, cats that have had accidents on it. It's just not in very good shape anymore. It has stains all over it. It ended up in here just because in our house we don't have other places for it. We've wanted to get rid of it for a long time. It's a super comfortable couch. It's just not in the best shape anymore. So I just want to get rid of it. It is a puppy couch. That's kind of why it's there. We don't really use it other than the dogs sleep on it. It is a vintage couch. It's the only couch that my cats have never been able to destroy with their claws, though. So there's that, I guess. I don't know. I bought that couch a long, long time ago. I do. Yeah, send me fan art. Nobody sent me fans. You know, everyone was like, get a P.O. box. I'll send you fans. I do have a P.O. box. P.O. Box 120. Hanover, Minnesota, 55341. Where did I get this shirt from? Maurice's? I don't know if you have those stores. I'm not the kind of girl that dresses up. I don't know. You know how those people like on drama channels, and by the way, I'm not a drama channel. I'm a commentary channel. They always like whip out their fans and they're like, you know, those, I don't know. People kept saying they're going to send me fans. Jeffree Star literally blocked me. I don't know why he would block me. Tati has me blocked too. Who else has me blocked? I don't even... I'm just chatting with my fans, or not with the chat now. Does James Charles have me blocked? No. I actually have somebody connected to James Charles that I talk to. I know a lot of people hate James Charles, but I will say that the people that are connected to him are really good people. And Tati said that he doesn't have anyone in his life that like will tell him no, and I can guarantee you the people I've talked to tell him no all the time. I try not to watch other people's commentary, to be honest. Some are better than the others. Some are like sassier than others. Yeah, the situation with Tati was irritating from the beginning. I could tell almost right away what she was doing. I saw it from the beginning. I saw her whole attitude. I saw it was all about her vitamins. I knew right away what she was doing, 100%. So, my friend that what clinic does my son go to for his thyroid? He originally, my son has panhypopituitarism. So he doesn't have a pituitary gland. And so he sees an endocrinologist. He was diagnosed at Children's Hospital of Minnesota in Minneapolis. But he goes to a specialty clinic for children with neurological disorders called Gillette. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Vixen. People got mad at me for not liking Blair White. Again, I will call out people I don't think that are cool. I don't care. Like, I don't know how anyone could literally come to this channel and expect me to, like, be super nice, because that's, like, not how I am. I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be one of those channels that's like, every YouTuber is great, and I love every single person. No. Like, literally my entire career has been calling people out on their shit. So why would I stop now? Keely, are you in Minnesota? My son doesn't have any pituitary gland, so yes, his thyroid's affected. He doesn't have growth hormone. He doesn't have, his adrenal glands don't work. He doesn't have testosterone. So yeah, we go to Gillette Specialty Healthcare. They have a very small endocrine department, but if you want, like, if you have a child that has an endocrine issue, and they're not super complex, Children's Hospital and Clinics is amazing. They have awesome endocrinologists. The only reason we ended up moving to Gillette was because my son ended up getting a shunt for his brain. And once he got the shunt in his brain, he became too complex, anytime a child gets ill and they have a shunt, like, people don't want anything to do with them unless they're at the hospital where their neurosurgeon is, because the shunt can get, like, triggered by so many different things. So we had to move his endocrinologist to at the same hospital that his neurosurgeon was at, because that way, even when he had his, like, heart surgery, they had to, like, have his neurosurgeon on call all the time to talk to her, because everything was because when you lay down too long and you get constipated, it can make your shunt get all crazy. So yes, he has to. He doesn't take anything orally. He has a feeding tube. So yeah, he takes everything in his tummy. So he takes hydrocortisone, levothyroxine. He gets a shot of growth hormone. He's on a lot of medications, a ton. Yeah, shunts are, like, awesome, but they're so complicated. I didn't think Blair White's thing was actually a debate, though. I don't think you could actually debate. Take your money. I love you, Tiny Dancer. Endocrinologists are literally the smartest, nerdiest doctors ever. My son's endocrinologist is 65 years old. He is such a nerd. He's board certified in endocrinology. He's, like, board certified in 3 specialties, which is not common at all with doctors. Yeah, I didn't like Blair's pettiness. Thank you. My goal on this channel, you guys, is I don't want to be the kind of YouTuber that just kisses ass and pretends that I'm super nice, because I feel like a lot of YouTubers do that, and they put up a persona, and then everyone can, like, break their, whatever you call it, like the windows or whatever, the glass house that they build around their fake persona. I'm never going to be anything other than what I am. I'm crass. I swear. I can be a bitch. I tell people how I feel. I am straight and to the point. I'm curt. I'm honest. People were literally mad for me swearing. Seriously. But yeah, my son has awesome doctors. He has so many doctors. We have an amazing complex pediatrician who is phenomenal. I've been stuck in this office all day. I can't even tell you. It was actually kind of surprising to me that people got upset with my swearing because I was like, do they not know who I am? Yeah, Kim F., one of my moderators, got mad at me for swearing, literally. Like, how can you not be on this channel and not know that I'm a swearer? I know. You know what? There was a comment I got on that one stream, and people were like, "You are so rude to your husband." Um, and I was like, "No." Todd is really, how do I describe him? Todd is really quiet. He's a very stoic person. Todd doesn't talk a lot for the sake of talking. He's actually super, super shy. If you don't know Todd and he doesn't know you, he will literally not say a word to you, and he's not like overly friendly. He's actually incredibly shy. I am an introvert, but I'm very friendly. So we're both introverts. Um, but he's very, yeah, he's very stoic. He's very like even keel. Um, he gets irritated by stuff, but he doesn't like, if you were just to meet him on the street, he doesn't talk very much. He talks at home all the time, but even so, like, he likes to, like, today, my son was just downstairs doing puzzles, and he was painting watercolors. He's a musician. He likes to make music. We're actually both kind of, I don't know, we're both creators. Yeah, and the one thing that my husband does not tolerate is he does not tolerate when people talk shit, and he absolutely hates when people like try to like put us into gender specific roles and act like I should be more womanly. Like, my husband is probably more of a feminist than I am. Like, he thinks it's really disgusting anytime like someone will say, get control of your wife. Like, he's gotten into more fights with people for that kind of bullshit because he's just like, screw you. Nobody tells my wife how to, like, my wife and I have like equal pants in this relationship. Oh, you guys, Scarlett, I want to just make a statement for Scarlett. Scarlett is, it's the 8th anniversary of his father's tragic death. So he has been with his family she has been with her family this weekend. So that is why Scott, aka Scarlett, has not been in the chat. So if you guys could just think some good thoughts for her, that would be fine. She sent me a message yesterday and said that she was just going to be with her mother and her siblings. So people were literally saying control your wife on Friday night. Yeah. I will. Scarlett has literally been on. Scarlett has been one of my subscribers since I had like 20 subscribers. Seriously. Like, that's how long Scarlett's been around. She's been with me since I've literally had like 20 subscribers. I am a Democrat, but I don't hate Republicans. And he told me to blame Jesse. Or she told me to blame Jesse. Oh, it was just a live stream, and people were asking me questions. It was kind of like what we're doing right now, but it was like 2 hours, and my husband was on there, and people were just asking me all kinds of questions, and it was just, yeah. I was irritated. All right, you guys, it is time for my husband or my son to go to bed. So, I'm a human and I don't know if I believe in it. Well, you guys did get modded on the same day. I'm always looking for more mods. I've had to demod people. I had to demod 2 people in the last few days. Yeah. Lisa, you earned your mod stripes. So did Tiny Dancer. I want to thank Sheba. Sheba was holding it down before Jessie Bear got here. It was a massive shit show. But you guys, I did not lose subscribers, so I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I did not lose subscribers. Oh, it was such a mess. Chapter epilogue. I know you are on my Facebook page. Your picture is the exact same. I should have modded you a long time ago. Long time ago. I did. I modded people and then had to unmod them. Jessie Bear is the top mod. She is the enforcer. Oh, you know what? Team Schroeder, you need to be a mod too. You've been here forever too. So yeah, someone from I don't even care. Aaliyah Grace, yes, Aaliyah Grace, you're in my like super group. So I knew that was you. I can tell by your picture. I should have made you a mod a long time ago, Aaliyah. Yeah, Jessie's the mod boss. Jessie is from the East Coast, so I can always just trust her to be like seriously no nonsense and like sassy and just like get shit done and take no prisoners. Yeah, I have a super group on Facebook. If you want to be in my super group, just send me a message on my Facebook page, and then I can put you in the super group. I don't really go in there very much, to be honest, but there is a super group. All the super group really is like it was a place for people to help, but it never really took off. I could put my moderators in there, and it could be a way for you guys to communicate. If you want to join the super group, just send me a message at my Facebook page and I'll add you. Yeah, send me a message on Facebook, and then I'll send you a friend request, and then I'll add you to the group. I love the East Coast people. All right, you guys, I'm off. I hope you guys have a really good night. Thank you to the moderators for kicking ass and taking names on that first stream. That was crazy. Have a good night, you guys. Bye.